in this new world of business that we all find ourselves in right now, there are some very, very critical things that are going to change or that have already changed about your business. And to be honest with you, these changes will probably be with us for the foreseeable future. And one of the biggest areas that you're gonna have to change in your business is how you make decisions. Now, there are three parts to that I think that you should really pay attention to. One is the return on investment for your decisions, or the ROI of your decisions. Number two are the underlying assumptions behind your decisions. And then number three is the way you track costs and benefits related to that decision. Now, if we go back to number one, the ROI. The ROI is all about what is the benefit that you're gonna get from making this decision. Whether that's gonna be, what's gonna be the cost that you're gonna have to pay for this decision, what's gonna be the income or the additional sales that you're gonna get from this decision. Are you gonna get more efficiency? Are you gonna lower risk? Whatever it is, you have to be able to ask yourself that question, and you have to have a good answer is, what am I going to get, or what's gonna be the impact of making this decision? Now, understanding the ROI for a decision may be the difference between being able to tell, is this a good idea? Is this an okay idea? Or is this just a bad idea that we should pass on? Because a lot of businesses will find themselves having to wrestle with that, because what we are realizing is that resources are not infinite. I mean, if the slightest thing about your business is not properly aligned, you could be putting your entire business at risk. So you want to make sure that you are understanding that. And then also is you're going to have to educate the people who work in your business. If you're an executive, or you own a business, or you're in charge of running a business, you're going to have to help the people who work in that business understand that, hey, you know what? We're gonna have to make trade-offs, and we have to make sure that we are making the decision that is in the best interest based on the resources that we currently have. And then number two, whatever decisions you are making, what you find is that there are a ton of assumptions behind it. For example, what your hours will be. I was talking to a baker, and she was telling me that, before, her hours were structured from, let's say, 9 to 3 or 9 to 4, because she used to realize that, hey, her business got really busy around 4, and she needed to come in during the morning time because she would have customers around breakfast time, and then she would have customers at the end of the day. But what she's realizing as she starts asking that question and starts looking at the numbers, most of her customers were coming in around lunchtime. And as she really started looking at the numbers, she said, you know what? We still have some customers that come early in the morning, but if we tell our customers, hey, we're shifting our hours from 11 to 4 instead, what she was seeing is that she was able to lower her costs and still be able to serve her customers, because the customers were able to shift when they came in. So you want to make sure you're questioning your underlying assumptions, because you know what? When you make that decision years ago or months ago, it might have been the right decision then. But if all the assumptions have changed, maybe it's time for you to change that decision. So you want to make sure that you're looking at what are your underlying assumptions, and be very clear and be very honest, because a lot of the decisions you make in business are going to be based on assumptions, whether that's what has happened in the past or what you think will happen in the future. And what we are realizing in this world under the impact of coronavirus is that all of our assumptions are subject to change, because everything about our business is changing. So we want to make sure we understand, hey, what are the underlying assumptions? And then number three is you want to make sure you have a way to track the costs and the benefits, because the only way that you're going to be able to answer the question, hey, is this decision actually giving us the benefit we expected, is if you are tracking your costs and your expenses, and you're tracking also the benefits that you're getting from that decision. And you want to ask yourself, do we have a way, or I say a efficient way, to track the costs and the benefits that are coming from this decision? Because if you can't, you will not be able to answer that question when later on it comes to say, hey, you know what? If we're spending $1,000 a month on this idea, what's the benefit we're getting from it? If you're not tracking the benefits, then you won't be able to answer that question. So you want to make sure that you are thinking about how do you pivot your business to change in those three areas. One is, do you have business cases, or do you require the employees in your business to create business cases to understand what's going to be the return on investment for this idea? Also, are you questioning your assumptions? Because so much about your business is changing and will change in the foreseeable future. You got to ask yourself, are the underlying assumptions still true? And then number three is you have to ask yourself, do you have an efficient way to track the costs and the benefits of the decisions and the ideas that you are implementing? Because if you are not prepared to make those three adjustments, you could be putting yourself and your business at significant risk. So you want to make sure that you're making and you're preparing your business to make those three adjustments today.